Hey Ben, good to be with you here. It's amazing that we get to talk like this when one of the worst days of my life as a coach was one of the best days of your life as a player. This great basketball game between two super teams in 2013 in Wisconsin. So tell me a little bit about what you think about what was going into winning this game in these first few plays.
Well, Coach, it was one of the best days of my life, but also one of the best nights because we had 2 days off because we had played so many games and had an overtime game leading into it. You usually only get 1 day off, but since there was 2 days off, I partied pretty hard after this one. This was an 11 a.m. game. Didn't have any breakfast. I didn't eat before like a game that was probably noon or earlier. So I thank you for putting Karis LeVert on me twice, I guess.
Yeah, I would think if I was your age at that time, I guarantee you anything I didn't do, no partying that night. I probably came home and had a stiff drink, and that was about it. But it was a great basketball game without question. And Wisconsin always had our number. They were terrific against us. And there was 2 years before. I think you hit a jump shot, a long one, like a 30-footer to beat us as well at the buzzer. So they had our number. We evened things up a little bit more in the years to come, but just a great team. You had a great team.
Yeah, and I'm very happy. I see the wonderful basketballs you have behind you. Probably say how many career wins you have. I'm glad it's just a little bit less now because of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we'd have a lot more if it wasn't for Wisconsin. No question.
You're right. Like this game right here it was an awesome game. I forgot about this play, and I think you did too. The 6'10" Jared Bergeron, Wisconsin being down 3. I mean, for him to show his athleticism that I didn't even knew he had.
Yeah, and the other thing is to show what type of player. Trey Burke was the player of the year in the country that year. He stands in and takes the charge on him. Which is something Trey did a lot of.
That wasn't a charge.
No, it wasn't a charge. It was a block.
Okay.
No, it was the right call. Jim Burr was all over that. He tried to take a charge on him. Let's say if it was you at Wisconsin, it probably would have been a charge. But no, it was the right call. It was the right call. But I applauded Trey for standing in there. But we bounced right back and scored. It was really. An incredible ending, an incredible last minute of was already 39 minutes of great basketball. That last minute, is something that we're doing it now because it was so special.
And actually, one of my favorite referees of all time, Gene Steratore, I remember, talking to him when we do get to see what happens coming next, heading into overtime. Like even the refs were enjoying it. I don't know if they're supposed to, but I know they were.
Yeah, Jim Burr came out of the corner with the charge call, or with the and one call, and he's a longtime great official and a friend. So yeah, it was well officiated. There was no complaints. It was two great teams. Whoever probably had the ball last was going to win, and in overtime, you did just that.
And so the big controversy in this game was, should Wisconsin foul? Should Michigan foul? Why isn't anybody fouling? There was fouls to give. Was your strategy to put the ball in Trey Burke's hand or Tim Hardaway Jr.'s hand? You had like 5 or 6 pros on this team. It's not fair that you had that many options in a timeout to draw up a play.
Well, we were going with Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway. That was going to be. Don't forget, we had pros. 3 of them were freshmen in that game, and you know how that is. But Tim and Trey were like sophomores and juniors. They don't even get off the bench as a sophomore or junior at Wisconsin. So our guys were like we had to go to our veterans, and Trey was very unselfish. That he took a look around. He didn't look what he had coming off we just tried to spread the floor, get a wide our ball screen, and then Tim came across and hit a really tough shot with great defense played on him too.
Were you expecting us to foul?
We thought you'd foul. We thought you would foul, and for some reason you did not. I still can't explain it, but we were waiting for it. But people always think that's so easy, Ben. Just foul him, and just foul him when he's going up to shoot. And I think that's what Karras was thinking on your shot. Our whole timeout, we were telling everybody foul, on the catch right away. They might have to take it out with one, but they got to run a new play. But he couldn't get to you in time, and then he's worried about fouling you, and then you're shooting it, and then you do tie the game. So it's not as easy as the common commentator or fan thinks it is.
Yeah, Bo was paranoid in many ways in his life, but he was especially paranoid when it came to fouling, like in a late game situation, because he was always in practice like, they might quick throw it up, and he'd always do that. Like if you foul them, they quick throw it up, and then they're going to the free throw line.
Yeah.
So he was paranoid, and you'll see Trey Burke, he does dribble handoff, and it was good defense, but I think in today's basketball, you're seeing a foul before he starts dribbling off that ball screen, but an unreal shot.
Yeah,
and I remember just trotting over, and look at the demeanor. I thought the game was over personally.
Yeah. Well, I think we thought it was too, and that comes to the next thing where we really grew from that game. Believe it or not, Ben, is that our timeout at that time. We spent so much time talking about fouling that and switching screens and whatever. I don't know if I wasn't clear enough with what we wanted Mitch McGarry to do. I didn't speak with him much about it, and we did not put a man on the ball.
Thank you for forgetting that.
Well,
that's the best thing you've ever forgotten in your life.
Well, in other times we put a man on the ball, we put a man off the ball. We practiced it the next day in practice. We put a man on the ball, we put a man off the ball. It still happened to work, but we had hoped we'd get two men on it. But when I watch it again, Karras was right on you. There was inches between you and the shot. Karras LeVert did a great job. You made a special play.
To be fair, the same way you practiced this situation the day before Friday night, because this was a Saturday morning game, we had practice situations. And my role in this play, I don't have a specific assignment. I am called the wild card. So my job is to just get open. So I read the first two cuts. Jared Bergeron kind of didn't really go towards the ball, so I kind of banana cuts, and you can kind of see the pass was perfect. Threw it in front, and I kid you not, the dribble into the shot, I let it go, and I was like, holy, that's going in. And the rest is history. And I guess it doesn't get old to watch the play over again.
And it's ironic because we run a similar play, not your play, but I thought there was some grand scheme there. But if you remember our win over Houston, Jordan Poole hit like a 30-foot shot when we were down 2. It's a similar play with once a guy's running to his right and it's a right-handed throw it in. You didn't. Your guy was able to throw a chest pass because we didn't have a man on the ball, and so but going to your right, you can usually catch it and heave it, and that's exactly what you did. So it was really we learned a lot from that one because, as I said before, later on in the year in a Sweet 16 against Kansas, we were up 2 points with less than 10 to go, side out of bounds, and we called a timeout, and that timeout was great. Everybody knew their assignments because we'd practiced it so much. Final Four, just a week later, Syracuse has the ball, not enough time, not a lot of timeout. We always remember that Wisconsin timeout where coaches weren't clear enough, players weren't listening enough, and if your ball goes in and out, we don't get as smart. We got a lot smarter from that game because it brought reality that every possession is very important in a game.
So everyone asked me, obviously about this game, and you went to this Michigan team went to the national championship game in 2013. We make it to the Final Four my next year. I say I would trade this game for a Final Four any day of the week, and people think I'm crazy.
The Final Four, we made it all the way to the championship game. And when that happens, did you make it to the championship game?
No, I was on the Final Four team, lost to Kentucky on Aaron Harrison's 3, and then I was overseas.
Harris. Yeah, he beat us the year before in an Elite Eight game. So
that was the year that he beat us.
Yeah, there was nothing like that, but we lost that game. But I would, like I said, that game, this loss really propelled us to do bigger and better things later on. Because as you know, in March, there's a lot of these plays that define seasons. And we did not let this loss define our season. But we regrouped as hard as it was.
So Karis LeVert is making, I don't know, 50 times more than me or 100 million times more than me right now. But did you put him on me specifically again in overtime? Because he really didn't play that many minutes as a freshman. But yeah. I guess I got his number twice here.
Well, we had, that lineup had 4 first rounders in it. They were young. And Glenn Robinson, who was a second rounder, who's having a great NBA career right now, because it had Burke, it had Stauskas, right? And it had Hardaway and McGarry in it. So you can't play 6 guys. And we had hoped to redshirt him because he was was an 18-year-old. He didn't turn 18 till he enrolled at Michigan. So he was really young, but he came off the bench, and we put him in just so we could switch a lot of screens late in the game. And that was it, but nobody screened for you. He just was one-on-one, and it was almost like an out route in football that it's tough to defend if the angles are right and the pass is on time and on target.
Well, again, so on Karis LeVert, we go up 3. This is my act. Again, another one where, like, I remember this shot, the shot that won the game, more than I remember the half-court shot, because if I just hit the half-court shot and we lose in overtime, does it really even matter that much? So hitting that shot, and then, again, the same sort of situation, I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. We didn't foul, and Trey Burke has an opportunity after missed free throws by Ryan Evans, which was kind of his bugaboo this season. Trey Burke, you'll see here come off the screen. No foul. We still have 3 fouls to give, and again, inches away from another win on the wall of your basketballs behind you. So thank you again for not telling Mitch McGarry to be on the ball, for putting Karis LeVert on me in the half-court shot, and for the three-point shot.
I don't think any of those made a difference, Ben. I mean, I would have defended differently if I certainly had to do it now. But sometimes the karma is just going to go one way. And but it was on me. And like I said, we learned a lot. I learned a lot as a coach, where I thought I had things covered. But we talked so much about fouling that we didn't make sure everybody was manned up when we didn't put a man on the ball. And so that never happened again after that, I guarantee you.
Well, again, I partied pretty hard with 2 days off, and one of the best things that ever happened to me was that same night, Zach Showalter and I got stuck on an elevator at around 10 o'clock. I don't think I would have made it to the bars if I didn't get stuck on the elevator.
No, it was always great for us to play at Wisconsin. I think we only won there 2 times, and the whole time I was at Michigan. And it was always a great crowd. We appreciate those Wisconsin fans. They're absolutely fabulous, and we had great battles. I had a lot of respect for the way both Bo and Greg Gard do things, and we were really just so much respect for that program, and we were honored to be on that court with you guys every time, and glad we could win a few. Wish we'd won more.
Yeah, and Coach, it's good as always, and great seeing you. Last time I saw you was the day the world shut down. I think it was your one-day contract for the 2019-2020 basketball season. I came here early to hang out on one of the best days of the year. Big Ten basketball tournament going on in Indy, and then 10 minutes before the game on Thursday, here we are now living this together. So great seeing you as always, and again, thanks for not putting Mitch McGarry on the ball.
Thanks very much, Ben. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon.